I'm Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Poon.
I'm Alexis.
And I'm Jihye.
And we did a video on Miss Esther Stenson.
Of her religious background?
Okay, well, this is how it all started. In the beginning of the semester, Professor Whitmer gave us a few examples for the class on the topics, and Professor Esther Stenson was actually one of the examples he gave us, and we were immediately drawn to the topic because she's from the Amish community and none of us really knew much about it, and we thought this would be perfect for us to learn and for us to share this awareness with our class. And once we actually got to meet her, we found out that she's really friendly and very open about her life. So it was good to just talk about everything she's been through and just share everything she's learned. So we knew that we could get a lot of information, and it was just an interesting topic overall.
So, like any other project, ours came with a bunch of challenges as well as a bunch of successes. In terms of challenges, our main one was our technological difficulties. A lot of our stuff did not record, so we had to keep going back and forth, and thankfully she was extremely understanding about it and was able to repeat some of the stuff that we wanted to include in the video. Editing was also a big challenge. We didn't realize how much time it actually took and how tedious the process was. Also, we got a solid 20 to 30 minutes of video, so it was really hard to go through and figure out what we wanted to include and stuff that we could actually eliminate. Also, none of us had had experience with iMovie, so it was kind of a learn-as-you-go process in terms of learning the software, and thankfully Alexis took charge as head editor and was able to take care of that. Also, a final challenge was deciding where our story was actually going to go. We got the full story of her life from beginning to present time, so we had to figure out exactly what route we wanted our movie to go, and specifically what religious direction we wanted it to go. In terms of successes, actually completing the video and getting it all together is a pretty big success, especially after all of the challenges we had. Also, we were really great about sticking to our timeline. We made sure that we had mapped out times and extra dates in case we needed to get extra footage, which thankfully we actually needed. So, and then also just persevering through all the technological difficulties and not letting it really get to us, and continuing to push through and getting the project done finally was a great success.
One of the important elements of our project was the variety of religious influences that impact her life. She's a good example of cafeteria religion in the modern world because she incorporated different aspects from different religions to add to her original Amish background. We thought another noteworthy element was the importance of nature in her life. She described how she always had a connection with nature, even from a young age. Another important factor was how she continued to pursue religion even after, as she states previously in the video, the Amish church left her. This led her to encounter a variety of religion, otherwise she may have not encountered.
One of the challenges that we had with making this video is that we had gotten so many clips and so much information about her religious experiences that we had to sort through and pick which ones that we wanted to incorporate in our video. Since most of her religious experiences did shape her life and made her who she is today. But we also wanted to get a mix of shots of nature as well as her narration over these shots and specific events that really stood out. Since nature was very important in her life, we figured that, of course, these clips of nature would be really helpful, since she does talk about, we are incorporating some of her poetry in it that we are voicing over, so it would be easier to read. Okay, so I guess one thing we wanted people to take away from the video is that what you stereotypically might think of as Amish may not necessarily be an experience of somebody who grew up Amish, and just that there's a wide variety within the Amish faith, I guess.
Yeah, and the level of strictness within a community may not apply to another community.
I mean, going into this, we thought that the Amish faith was extremely strict. From what you see off of TVs, they kind of imply that this religion is very cut edge. Either you're in it or you're not. But after we discovered and filmed her,
we see that like she's not really straight edge or as cut edge as we thought she would be.
And we also learned that, you know, religion is not like not necessarily just one thing, but it can be a diverse and like an intertwining of a lot of different things.
Yeah, we learned at the beginning of the semester about cafeteria religion, and she just 100% exemplifies taking a little bit from a variety of religions and creating, in a way, your own individual spirituality.
So, the other day in class we learned about modernity and how religion's going to have to adapt over time if it wants to survive in society. And we learned, of course, with Esther's religion that when people started getting cars, everybody started like diversing and leaving the community itself. It wasn't that Esther wanted to depart herself. The community left the Amish faith, and she was just like left by herself.
The whole point of the project was really to show the diversity of religion in the Shenandoah Valley, and we really found that Esther exemplified that.
Yeah, I mean, people just assume that the Shenandoah Valley is all about like Mennonites, but we found out that there used to be a Amish community here, and
none of us really knew up until
Yeah.
that point, until we actually heard that it existed.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't really know about the Amish faith at all. We didn't know a lot about them, and that's probably why we were intrigued to kind of get to know it better, and by doing a project on Esther Stenson.